Environment design. Why your room is making you lazy and how to fix it. You are not lazy. Your room is just doing an excellent job of sabotaging you. Most people blame motivation, discipline, or mindset when they can't focus or follow through. In reality, behavior is heavily shaped by environment. Your surroundings quietly tell your brain what to do. If your room is designed for comfort, distraction, and convenience, your actions will follow that script every time. Your brain takes cues from what it sees first. If the first thing you notice when you wake up is your phone, your day starts in reaction mode. If your bed dominates the room, rest becomes the default behavior. If clutter is everywhere, your brain stays in low level stress, even if you don't consciously notice it. Environment is not background, it's instruction. Bad habits thrive in friendly environments. If snacks are visible, you snack more. If your phone is within an arm's reach, you scroll more. If your laptop is open, you multitask more. None of this requires weakness, it's just proximity. The closer something is, the more likely you are to use it. Good habits work the same way, but in reverse. If a book is on your desk, you read more. If workout clothes are visible, you move more. If your journal is open, you write more. Environment design is not about forcing discipline, it's about reducing friction for the habits you want and increasing friction for the habits you don't. Start by removing visual noise. Clutter drains mental energy. A messy room constantly pulls attention even when you're not aware of it. You don't need perfection, you need clarity. Clear surfaces create a sense of control. Control creates momentum. Next, separate spaces by function. One space, one purpose. If you work on your bed, your brain associates the bed with efforts and distraction. Sleep quality drops, focus drops. If possible, keep work, rest, and entertainment visually distinct. Your brain learns faster when environments are consistent. Now, look at your biggest distractions. Don't negotiate with them, design around them. If your phone ruins focus, keep it out of reach or in another room. If notifications pull you in, then turn them off. This is not a punishment, it's prevention. You don't rely on willpower to avoid touching fire. You design so you don't stand near it. Make good habits obvious. Lay out what you want to do before you need motivation. Put your journal on your pillow. Keep a water bottle on your desk. Place your shoes near the door. When the environment cues the action, the decision disappears. Make bad habits inconvenient. Hide junk food, log out of apps, unplug devices, add small delays. Even 5 seconds of friction can break an automatic loop. Your brain prefers the easiest option available. Control the options and you control behavior. Lighting, noise, and air matter more than people realize. Dim lighting makes you sluggish. Fresh air improves alertness. Natural light regulates energy and mood. Your body responds to these cues instantly. Long before logic kicks in, the goal of environment design is not productivity at all costs. It's alignment. When your space supports who you want to be, efforts drop. You stop fighting yourselves. Motivation fades. willpower runs out, environment stays. If you want to change your habits, stop arguing with your brain, rearrange the room.